How do I usually start these things? I forgot. It's been that long.
Yeah. We usually do something related to the movie, and then you say, "Welcome to Movie Mumbles, where the mumbles have movies and the movies have mumbles." That thing.
Okay. Well, Roy, can I ask you a question real quick?
Por qué?
Are you going to be my wingman, or am I going to be your wingman?
Bullshit, man. You're gonna be my wingman.
You could be my wingman any day. Hey guys, and welcome to Movie Mumbles, where the mumbles have movies and the movies have mumbles. I'm Mr. Wumble, and this is Roy Johnson. Say hi, Roy.
Yep. So yeah, this is you're not gonna probably tell by the time we actually get this edited, but it's been a while since we've done the last Movie Mumbles.
Yeah, for us, I mean, it's been like what, 6 months? I
January.
feel like every single one. Yeah, okay, so 5 months. So, coming up to 6 months.
Wait, actually, I don't know. I don't know about recording, but the last episode that I posted was the House Moving Castle one. But that's going to change, obviously, by the time we post this.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know, because that was.
It might have been almost a year.
That was ages ago now. Yeah, I don't know. We're both really busy IRL, so it's really freaking difficult.
Like was mentioned, well, we're continuing the theme of Tom Cruise movies. Wumble's pick was Top Gun, and you can explain what it was.
Yeah, so Top Gun is a 1989 film.
Oh, spoilers!
Tom Cruise.
Don't forget spoilers before.
No, I know. I'm gonna do the quick bio first, and then I'll do the spoilers. Okay, you listening, boy?
Okay.
Starring Tom Cruise, Tim Robbins, Val Kilmer, and among others, there were other people in that too. And it starts with Maverick, a hotshot who thinks he knows everything about anything. He's a reckless fighter pilot he chases down some like MiG-28s or something, even though they're not really MiG-28s because there's no such thing. But it's over the Indian Ocean. They never actually specify the nation for the MiGs, but either way.
It's just some vague foreign nation.
Yeah, it's just like this, probably Soviets.
Probably Russian.
After the first encounter, Maverick then goes out to, Maverick and his backseater Goose, I should say, are sent to the Fighter Weapons School, which is the best title for this movie.
Gun.
Wait, no. Yeah, we gotta call it Top Gun. Okay, let's call it Top Gun. But pretty much he rides motorbikes, he hits on blondes in bars and sings Great Balls of Fire, and from here on out there will be spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. First, before I begin, I'm curious your thoughts on this movie. I have some thoughts, but you start.
I mean, I like the film. I like this film. I picked it because I like it. It's a fairly famous film.
Yeah, it's definitely I will say it's iconic, I think.
Yeah, I do think it's dated. I'll give you that, and there's definitely flaws, but like for a kind of sit at home, let's just have fun, let's just sit down and watch a really great film with, like popcorn kind of thing. It's I'll tell you what it is. It's a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, and I think it was one of the first summer blockbusters, I think, or at least one of the earliest of this type of genre. Yeah.
Also, I said 1989 in the intro, and it's 1986.
Yeah, not even close. Okay.
Yeah. I'm correcting myself before you can do that in the edit. I'm just there we go.
It's interesting because this is actually a film that we both rewatched. This is rare. We do usually one or the other person hasn't seen a movie we suggest, but for this one we both have seen this movie prior to like being suggested. I remember my first time, for context, watching this was actually as part of a college class I was taking. It was like exploring Hollywood movies and stuff, and it was obviously discussing. It was for the class was discussing blockbusters in relation to Top Gun. We were supposed to see Jurassic Park, but decided to pick Top Gun instead, and I'm a little annoyed because to give my personal opinion, I don't really like this movie as much. I don't hate the movie, but I just don't. I have more issues with it, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean that's completely fair because, like I said, it's not the best movie. It's definitely an acquired taste. There are definitely moments in this film that make me cringe, especially like the fucking I'm gonna have to go straight in with it. The slow, painful fucking sex scene that looks like, which is pretty much the entire thing.
I thought you would like that. I thought you'd like that scene.
No, I don't. It's a slow, painful sex scene. It's the sex scene in the room? That's what it reminds me of. It's not good. We don't need to see that. It's slowly looking at each other's eyes and gazing off while they very slowly undress themselves in like moonlit kind of... No, fuck you. That's not what sex is. No, fuck that. They just picked each other up in a bar like a couple of days back. No, fuck that.
Okay. So it's interesting you brought up the one of the rare heterosexual like moments in that film, because one of the things this movie is famous or infamous for is its homoerotic undertones, and this film. It's hard to argue if it was intentional. If it wasn't intentional, it's very. I feel like. Because if it's not intentional, then by God, did someone not have any clue what was? Because like so many. Well, the sad thing is, Tom Cruise has better chemistry with Goose and Iceman in this movie than he does with his actual female love interest.
He does definitely. Well, I mean, there are a lot of homoerotic kind of sexual undertones throughout,
the volleyball
especially
scene
between. Yeah, the volleyball
which
scene.
Which is pointless. Which was a pointless scene.
Every interaction between Maverick and Iceman. Every single one. Like, all you have to think is, yeah, they're fucking. Because then everything like, in their eyes, the tension, the sweat, the I'm gonna bite you kind of thing. It's like, what? What even is that?
During Iceman's introduction scene, his rear pilot goes, is this making you horny? He's like, don't tease me, or something like that. And that's his first line.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, but Goose has a really fucking good line, right? So they're in the bar, they're having a wager on who Maverick's gonna pick up, and Goose has the thing that says like, no, you're not gonna do it, so I'm wagering that it's not gonna work. And then Maverick's like, okay, fine, let's go for it. They try and hit on her, hit on them, and Goose says before they even start that interaction, and it has to be a woman this time. So that means at some point in the past, Maverick has ended up with a guy. Yes.
And the thing is, besides that, there's just so much like naked like men and like just like full like shots of their asses. Like the scene after Goose dies, Maverick goes straight for a shower in his underwear. Like literally. Well, the next scene.
Okay, so let You're right.
And I'm not saying that's good or bad.
Homoerotic, right?
I'm not saying that's good or bad, but like, it's just there.
You've also got to think that they were trying to make this into a summer blockbuster, right? Now, realistically, who is going to go and see a film about fighter jet pilots and that sort of thing? Men, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. So you've got to have an interest for women. Like, I'm thinking a 1980s mentality now. I don't think this is correct. This isn't the right way to go about thinking of this sort of thing because whatever. But, you do have to think that that's probably what was going through the minds of the directors at the time, and that's probably why there's so much what now looks like homoerotic kind of, oh, I love you kind of thing, but then it's kind of more of the eye candy for the women because men don't understand.
Because that explains the volleyball scene, which was pointless.
It does. Yes.
And the song that plays is playing with the boys. That is the song that plays during that scene.
I think honestly that's why they cast Tom Cruise in that role, because at the time he was doing a lot of chick flick films anyway. He was the heartthrob, and he is very attractive. He's very young in this film as well. Do you get what I mean? So that's why
I get that. He's the heartthrob.
I have the feeling that was the reason why he was cast, and because of this film, he then goes off and does action adventure kind of films, and actually he's better in those than he is in like the chicky flick films.
Yeah, I want to talk about his character for a second because I'm just annoyed by the main character of Maverick, just because like literally he's that stereotypical hotshot. Oh, I'm gonna stick it to the man. I'm not gonna play by the rules, which is fine and dandy, except he's piloting a plane with someone else in the rear, and like he does one of the first things he does is drive by literally the first thing he does when he goes to Top Gun, this prestigious school that he only got in because someone else chickened out. for the record. So he was like just
which
on thin
was
ice.
his fault as well. Let's just put that out there. That was Maverick's fault.
Yeah,
and the reason why the what was his name? Was it Merlin? No,
I don't know.
It
Because he was literally it
it
was a minor character, but yeah, there was a pilot that was supposed to be like the ace guy who was supposed to go to Top Gun, but like he chickened out because he got like PTSD or something like that, which they don't really play seriously because this is supposed to be a movie to convince people to stay in the Navy. I want to touch on that a little later, but the point is, he does stuff like driving past the I forgot what it was called, but like the pilot thing where like the guy's on land, like, and like he's just driving past it and he spills his coffee, you know that scene. Apparently, like I did some research, if you do that in real life, and you would get both kicked out of the school and arrested because that breaks so many air laws. Of course you would. And he would like before he did anything, he would probably be like not even eligible for the school because he has that hotshot attitude, except this is like serious pilot shit, but every time the movie like questions him on that, he's always right. Every time it's like, oh, you did something dangerous, but you were a genius, and the movie keeps confirming that he's doing the right thing.
This character, for the first hour, you are not given a reason why he is an absolute asshole. He's just an asshole. That's all he is. It's never explained why he's a loose cannon or anything like that until, like, you have, like, these brief mentions of his father, but you don't really know anything about it.
We barely talk about it.
Until the moment. Oh, by the way, it was in the changing rooms and they've got the tops off during this moment. But, it was when Goose is, like, looking at Maverick and they've just buzzed the tower and they're about to get fired from the school or whatever like that. They're about to get kicked out, and he says,
and they should have,
got to stop.
To be honest.
Yeah, and there's an actual connect. No, I don't know. They should have, but there's an actual connection between them, and then that's when you discover that actually his father, something happened with his father. And then it's still not until later on that you actually find out that he doesn't know what happened with his father. And then that doesn't really progress until right at the end when actually, no, his father was a hero anyway.
It's annoying. It's like, he does so many like shitty things. Like for a modern audience, it's a bit more shitty, but like he has this relationship with his teacher, basically. The main love interest is his teacher. And like, if it was played today...
Yeah, so not his teacher.
He follows her to the women's bathroom.
Yeah, she was a civilian, so technically a co-worker, right?
Technically, but like, for all extent, well, okay, that's not the wrong part. But the thing is, and during like their first get together, he like stalks her in the ladies' room, and like he doesn't do anything, but it's still like I don't know, like and
yeah.
Plus, like it's just like it's all about the entire movie is about him. Every other supporting character is just to show how awesome the main character is. The worst example, I think, is like the scene where after Goose dies, Maverick's taking all of Goose's stuff to his like mourning widow, but for that scene, it's not Maverick doesn't do anything to like comfort her. It's the grieving widow who's comforting him about Goose's loss, and I think he feels more emotional towards it than the wife in that scene, which is just like, I get he was his best friend and such, I understand that, but it's like it's just a weird moment where he has her hand on his cheek as if like he's the one that should be getting more sympathy.
I get what you're saying. So basically that like she didn't like blame Maverick at all. There's never any blame placed on Maverick for that incident.
You think she'd be kind of pissed off?
He's immediately rebutted, right? Yeah. And I think her, out of all of the characters, probably would have blamed him, even if it wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
there would still be the blame there, and there would still be the tension.
No, but
there.
not even.
You've got to think that she's not in the Air Force, so she doesn't understand like how piloting works. All she knows is that Maverick is the pilot and Goose is in the back, and Goose died because Maverick crashed. That's all she knows, really.
She has good reason to think Maverick did fuck up, because Maverick has had this reputation of being this dangerous driver who does risky shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
but that's never dealt with. I don't know. I think it would have been more interesting if she did blame him. I don't know, but that would have conflated with Tom Cruise being awesome.
Yeah. So I think again. So to rebut that, I think the reason why that they don't do that is because it is kind of like a propaganda thing.
No, it is. It's absolutely
for the Navy and the military and things like that. But it's not just that. Like we've also got to think. When they design like any sort of summer blockbuster or anything like that, it can all be brought back down to Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
And what was the director thinking or the showrunners thinking when they made this film? Like generally, what was their motivation? Was their motivation in trying to make an award-winning film?
No, they want to make money.
Were they trying to keep as realistic to the story? No. Like realistic to real life as possible? No, they weren't. Were they trying to get as many bums on seats as possible? Yes. How are you going to do that? Have a relatable character and show their story and nobody else's story. So that's probably why they didn't have an arc with this, with the wife. Which actually, if you think about it in retrospect, is kind of a disappointment because that would have got a lot more female presence in the cinemas, right?
It's just the love interest, and she doesn't do anything besides suck his dick, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, all the way through. And even when she's highly critical of what Maverick is, she chases after him, being more dangerous to like other people than Maverick has been in the entire
and the scene where she's chasing after him, and she just drives through traffic.
She just drives through fucking traffic.
Like she could have killed somebody.
That's worse. Yeah, that's worse. And she's got a really nice fucking car, and she, it's like, don't drive it like that, please, treat it well.
And there are heroes. the heroes are dangerous and reckless and constantly put people's lives in danger. And they're, okay. So...
But, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I can sit down, I can watch this film, I can have a hell of a lot of fun, there's a lot of flaws in it.
It's one of those turn off your brain type movies.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed by some of the details because, like, there's a decent. I have a few issues.
Speaking of details, really quickly, I promise you this is a really, really small point, and it's a nitpick as fuck. But did you, when you see the opening crawl, I only noticed it this time, right? It says inshore, and it's spelt with INSURE. They mean ensure, ENSURE, right? That's the correct spelling in that context because it's supposed to be to ensure of like the pilot's training and stuff like that to make sure that things are right. That's ensure, E-N. Am I correct in that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'll confirm.
Okay, never mind. There's a spelling mistake somewhere in the film, and I'm sure the dyslexic has fucking found it. And I swear to God, if I'm right on this, I'm gonna be like, yes. If I'm wrong, fuck it. It doesn't matter. I'm a dyslexic anyway.
Okay, we'll do both reactions just in case. So I can But anyway, so there's some good. I'm just not a big fan of the type of plot this is. Like, I understand it's to turn off your brain. It knows what it is, and it does it job really well. I'm just not a really big fan of what it is. It's just kind of this mindless action movie. I don't like the plane scenes. I don't think they're like, it's hard to convey whose plane is who just because they all kind of blend together, I think. And that's a major problem. I think I just find it confusing sometimes. Not all the time, but like
okay, so do you know anything like about planes and stuff? No, okay. See, I kind of do, and I know an F-14 Tomcat when I see one.
But
right?
I don't think most of the people who watch this movie know what the fuck.
I think most people would. Because it's a film about Top Gun. It's a film about fighter pilots. I think the sort of people that would be attracted to this sort of film is the sort of people that like fighter jets and stuff. That's like one of the main reasons I like this film, because it's got like the F-14 Tomcats flying around and shit like that. So and you've got the MiG-28s, which aren't actually MiG-28s because they don't exist. They're actually F-4s, I think.
I don't care.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So with the Soviet planes, the MiGs, they were painted black so that they stood out.
Yeah,
against,
no, I got that.
So they had that ominous
detail.
thing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're generic. They're like the generic bad guys. Their planes are black. We don't know shit about them, so we're fine when they explode. Yeah. We don't think about it too much.
They don't really look like MiGs realistically, but You know what? I think that opening scene and the closing scene with the actual fighter jets, that works really well. It builds on the tension consistently throughout, and it's continually building, right? And I do actually like the fighter jet training montages and stuff. Now, I presume your criticism lies with the training montages. You don't know who's who. You don't know what's happening. You don't know where things are going, right?
Yeah, usually that. Usually those things.
So again, I generally think that, like, if you kind of could recognize the planes, it's like cars, right? So if you're watching F1 or something like that, Formula 1, but you don't know who any of the teams are, you're not gonna really know what's going on. But like, everyone instinctively knows that Ferrari is red, right? Like, like, it's that kind of thing in my brain, so I can kind of see the different planes, so I know who's on which side and stuff like that, right?
I guess if you're like a super plane nerd, you would understand that.
Well, I'm not a super plane nerd. I just know a little bit about fighter jets. But I mean, I know a little bit, mainly because of like Kerbal and space and things like that, aerospace and other stuff.
I get, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have issues with it, but it could be just like, it could just be like a person to person type of thing. But I do have some other things I want to talk about before we're not done yet, but we're close. But soundtrack. I think the soundtrack's really. I mean, most of it's just kind of generic montage music, but it's really
Kenny
good.
Loggins.
I mean, the Danger Zone is a classic. Like, it's kind of cheesy and ridiculous. They were gonna have Born. Originally they were gonna have Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen during the big opening scene, but like Bruce Springsteen, like, infamously does not like when people use that song because it's supposed to be like this ironic kind of thing, but everyone just uses this as patriot music, so obviously he was gonna say no to that. But it's a classic song. I think a lot of the songs in the movie work in the kind of cheesy 80s kind of way. There's nothing deep about these songs, but they're just fun. They do their purpose. Take Your Breath Away is supposed to be for the sex scene. I think the music, it's just funny, every single time a romantic moment happens, you hear the do-do-do, just starts, like, immediately, like that. But, I don't know. I even like the instrumental Top Gun theme, which is, the da-da-da-da-da. It works as a, instrumental theme.
I like it, but I mean, I think when you talk about the Top Gun soundtrack, you're going to pick out the pop songs that go with it. Danger Zone is the obvious one. Take My Breath Away, I suppose, as well. That's another one, but that goes along with the goddamn awful sex scene, so I don't like that song because of that sex scene.
I'm fine with that scene, honestly. I like the neon blue.
But it's just... Okay, so I think my reason why I don't like that is the same reason that you don't like the fighter jets, right? So you can't really see what's happening. It's generic, it's boring, it's cliche.
You're not going to see full penetration.
Oh, fuck it, I want to see Game of Thrones. That's what I want to see. That's what I want. Season 1 and 2 of Game of Thrones.
Not season 8. Not season 8.
No. Anyway, let's not go down to Game of Thrones.
Let's not talk about those spoilers. That's completely different. But anyway, fun fact, the director of this movie, Tony Scott, is the brother of Ridley Scott. I don't think he's really done as much... What?
He hasn't.
Yeah, besides Top Gun, he's really just known as the Top Gun guy. I think he's done other movies, though. I think True Romance, I think he's done. Which, funny thing...
I don't know anything about Tony Scott, just that he's the Top Gun guy.
But like, funny, True Romance was done by Quentin Tarantino, and there's actually a famous, well, not famous, but like a scene from a movie, I don't know which movie, I'll link it in the description of this video, where Quentin Tarantino's like talking his theory about how Top Gun is like this gay man dealing with staying in the closet, basically. I'll show you that scene afterwards. It's really interesting. It's like it's just Quentin Tarantino doing what he does best, just talking about movies. It's from Sleep With Me, that movie.
No, I disagree with that. I don't think Quentin Tarantino's best thing is talking about movies. I think his best thing is making movies.
When he's acting in movies, that's what he usually does. Like the Reservoir Dogs scene. Yeah, but like... Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, and this movie is just blatant... I was about to say Nazi, but that's completely wrong. Navy propaganda. They literally had sign-up sheets outside the theaters for like this movie when it came out, just because like everyone, they wanted people to enlist in the Navy. There were even details about the film that were changed because they didn't want to negatively represent the Navy. The first scene.
Do you know why they did that? Because the Navy let them have access to all of this high equipment,
obviously,
right?
And
they were going to pull the funding from it because, other than that, so they had to change it to work around the Navy.
But first scene,
of that, you get some amazing fucking plane shots with F-14s going around, which at the time were
absolutely. The plane shots are especially impressive because it's the 80s. They didn't have all the computer technology to simulate this. This was all real plane shit.
Yeah,
like they had to fly these things, had to attach cameras. It's impressive.
And F4s.
I will give them that. Yeah. Like I don't particularly like this movie, but I'll give them that. The filming of those scenes, like, is impressive by itself. It's a spectacle. It should be commemorated for that. But like the first scene where the the guy who's supposed to be number one but gets chickened out at the end, he was supposed to crash and die during that scene. He even looks at the photo. He does the whole looking at the photo of the children thing, which is like, in movie language, it's just like he's gonna fucking die. But like he kind of should die because he's so panicky. It's unrealistic to think he would be able, even in that state, to fucking land the plane. And in the script, he was originally supposed to die, but obviously the Navy didn't want the first scene of Navy combat to end with one of the guys crashing and dying. So they changed it to him, just quitting. But, and also during Goose's death, it was supposed to be another plane crash. He was supposed to die in another plane crash, but, instead they had to change to, this, Goose, gets hit, I don't know, the weird ejection thing instead. But yeah, it's just interesting to know. But, because they didn't want people to realize that he could die in the Navy.
That ejection thing was complete BS all the way through, because that wouldn't happen at all, because the explosive bolts on the top of those things are so powerful and they're only on the front, so it just slings the entire thing back. So that literally would never happen.
So Goose should have lived, essentially, is what you're trying to say. Or
yeah, pretty much. I mean, if we're going to be nitpicky. But yeah, like I said, the explosive bolts on the glass, it's right at the front of the cockpit. At the rear of the cockpit, there's a release bar, and it just literally detaches from there, because that's how you pretty much... Yeah, it just detaches. So they fire it at the front. All the power is at the front. Actually, there might be one explosive bolt in the back. But it fire both fire off at the front, and then that means that the front bit flips up backwards, and then
now
the
to
rear
be fair,
bit,
they were
detaches,
shooting.
So then it's
the
firing
plane was being.
behind
Actually, I was thinking the plane was being shot at. It could have just been a glitch.
It wasn't. It was flat spinning. It was during the training, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was. It was during training. I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to correct you on that, because I don't know myself how any of that works. You could be wrong for all I know. I don't know the specifics of what the hell you're saying. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know the general gist of how those things work, because I've looked into it before.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. Unless we want any last points.
Yeah, but just remember, Maverick said, "I'm not going to let you down. I promise." Then immediately proceeds to let Goose down. He never learns his lesson.
No, he doesn't. He just keeps doing shit at the end.
He just keeps doing the same shit.
And he's rewarded.
He's back in the exact same thing.
He gets everything he wants.
Rewarded, exactly, yeah.
He gets everything but the Top Gun award at the end, because his pilot's
now he's going to be an instructor. Oh, I do have another point that I didn't actually write down in my notes. I looked this up at the end while I was getting food. There was actually supposed to be a Top Gun 2. And there was two reasons. The script was made and it was gonna go into pre-production. There's two reasons why this never got made.
No, they're making a new one. Did they make it Top Gun 2?
What? No. I mean, Top Gun 2, titled Top Gun 2, not Maverick. Oh. This one's this new one is Maverick. So this is
okay.
Another thing. I mean, Top Gun 2 that was supposed to be released 2 years after the thing.
Yeah, sooner after the original. Okay. What was it?
So there was two reasons. Number one reason, the Navy had all of their equipment updated during the filming of just after the filming of Top Gun and during release. So they didn't want any freaking film cameras anywhere near all the high-tech new stuff that they had on this thing. So that was one of the reasons. And the second reason was that pretty much Tom Cruise didn't want anything to do with a sequel. He did not want to do with it. So he was only on board because like the only reason he said yes to it was because they started offering him obscene amounts of money. And I mean,
so we're talking about Top Gun
amount.
2, not Maverick, right?
Yeah. So we're talking about Top Gun 2.
Because now he's fine with doing it.
Would have been released in 1989, I believe.
Ish,
somewhere
maybe.
around
We
there.
don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now
We're getting a Top Gun 2, which hopefully by the time
we're getting Maverick, which but apparently the script for Top Gun 2, what was supposed to happen was that Maverick was now an instructor, and then there is a young female hotshot that comes through and pretty much plays off his counterpart, and now he's the one that is teaching the new
So basically
Maverick
the same movie but gender swapped, just like
pretty much.
just the same
pretty
main
much.
character gender swapped. So yeah.
Yes.
So we got that. We already had that in the next Karate Kid. So it's like, I don't know. And other movies, which was just the same movie.
That was the going theme with the 80s, right? So you do like a summer blockbuster, and then the next sequel is like the same film, but just like
just it's like an RPG thing. Just change the gender and just a new game.
Yeah, look at Rocky, for instance. Like look at Rocky 2. Which you've never seen, so I don't know why I brought that up.
What? I don't get that. How does that work? How does that fit? Because Rocky's still in there.
So Rocky 2 was less about him being the underdog and him being kind of like being challenged by... so it was the other way around. So he then got challenged again for like the second fight, I believe.
I guess. It's not... I was thinking more like just same plot, but gender, and then... It's more like Creed and like kind of...
Yes, kind of, yeah.
Oh,
but anyway, that's it for Movie Mumbles. We're kind of starting to mumble a little bit too much, so I'm going to call a strike on that.
I'm just going to hope, hopefully, just last bit, I just hope that we get this episode out before Maverick comes out, because otherwise, I don't know.
When is Maverick due out?
2020.
It's currently the 30th of May.
No, it's
2019.
What? I thought you said 30th of December for a second. I was like, what?
No.
It's 2020, so I don't know. I'm hoping not, but like I'm already really late on working on these mumbles, so I gotta see what happens.
Yeah, we're backlogged. It's fine though.
It's fine. But yeah, so we're done with Top Gun. Now it's my turn to pick the final Tom Cruise movie, and I think this one's gonna be really interesting. So, an unintentional thing that we've done is we've actually kind of gone through the career of Tom Cruise. So we started off with the 2010s, which was his most recent decade of Tom Cruise movies with Edge of Tomorrow. We did a 2000s movie with Vanilla Sky. We went back to the start during the 80s, the beginning of his career with Cruise. So now let's take a little pick from the 90s. Now, I've mentioned to Wumble that this was actually from a movie from a director that he really likes. So not only will this be the last Tom Cruise movie we're talking about, but this is actually the last Stanley Kubrick movie that he ever made. And we're going to be watching that. It's going to be Eyes Wide Shut, the last Stanley Kubrick movie that he's ever made before his death, and also features Tom Cruise in a major role. He's the main character in this. So yeah, we're going to be watching Eyes Wide Shut.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I like that. Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen the movie?
I don't think so. It's got Nicole Kidman in, right? 'Cause that's like the one where they get together, I think, if I remember right. IRL.
Well, they are a married couple in that.
Yeah. Were they already married before then?
No. Well, I'm not sure.
Like
the real
IRL,
life.
I don't know.
In the movie, I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So either way, yeah. So I remember that. I think I've seen bits of it. I think I've seen it a while ago. I don't know if I've seen it all the way through, but either way.
But yeah. So now's your chance. Now's your chance to check out Eyes Wide Shut. And this will be interesting because it's kind of an obscure Kubrick film. I know you like Kubrick. This is actually going to be my first Kubrick movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen any Kubricks, just like in general. So
you haven't seen 2001?
No, I haven't.
Clockwork Orange?
No. None of them. I've seen none of them.
None of them. Are you sure you've seen none of them? What? Not even like Full Metal Jacket?
No.
How have you not seen Full Metal Jacket?
I just haven't. So yeah, we'll have a lot to discuss when we get there. So, any last thoughts? Any goodbyes and such, or?
No, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop. Later, nuts.
Adios, muchachos.
No, later, nuts. I'll get the last word. Later, nuts.
Way to the danger zone.